Oh man, do we need theme music there? We definitely need some theme music there, hey? Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Triple D. It's Dynamite with Dezzie and Dean. Deanie, how are you today?
Yeah, all gravy, dude, man. Yeah, like I was saying earlier, I'm freaking out a bit because I cut a bit of my hair off today for the first time in 6 years. So it was nice to have. I did it just before Dynamite, so it was nice to have that distraction to take me off it because it does look. It's weird, but yeah, good day, good work. Good
First
Dynamite.
haircut in 6 years, man. I have not let my hair grow for 6 years ever. I don't think I could never do that.
I mean, it's not even still in the screen. It's that long, but just to me, because it just feels like
a massive change for sure. Massive change. So, how's things this week? How are things with you?
Yeah, all good, man. Back at work. It's been raining, getting wet, but you know what I mean. Rough with smooth, brother. Rough with the smooth. This is the highlight of the day, anyway. I'll tell you that.
Oh, absolutely, man. Yeah, it's been a hot week here. We've had a lot of sun. I got my Jeep stuck this week. That was really cool. And then, like you said, though, man, highlight of the week, watching Dynamite. And again, and I don't want to sound like a broken record. What an episode of Dynamite this week, man. June 17th. AEW brought it again, honestly. Brought it again. We start the show off here with double main event, they called it, the double main event. And we got our first one right off the bat. So we started the show off with Omega and Hangman defending the tag team titles against the Natural Nightmares, QT Marshall and Dustin Rhodes. And what did you think about this match here, Dean? What were your thoughts?
Well, it's nice to open again because it's the same as last week. We had the tag titles match. It's nice to open with a championship match, an important match, to get you straight in. But I thought they were never in doubt who were going to win, really. But it still were a very competitive match, like high energy. There were no really like low or slow points. It was constant action. Apart from did you see the spot at the beginning when Dustin was running in the corner and he tried to evade? Kenny Omega tried to evade him, but he took the knee to the side of the head, and that was a proper knee.
Oh yeah,
is that he got turned straight round, took a Hurricane Rana. Next minute he's on top rope doing Hurricane Rana. And then before taking a knee, and then they sort of respectfully stepped out so he could compose himself, which he did. And he got back into the match. And like I say, everyone got a bit of a time to shine. Even QT, and he wrestles a bit scruffy, but his thing. But like I say, you knew who were going to win. Very predictable, but it was still a good solid tag match. And I've got in my notes here, right? I love Hangman. I just love the way he wrestles. He's so good. If he gets a hot tag on, he just wipes people out. He's hard hitting, he's fast. I just love. And it's a testament to him because he's in a tag team with who a lot of people consider the best wrestler on the planet, and I'm often more impressed by Hangman. You know what I mean? So I just think he's awesome. So yeah, what did you think of it, dude?
Oh man, let me tell you, I agree. First of all, I think Hangman is amazing, especially when you're paired up with somebody like Kenny Omega. In my opinion, Kenny Omega is just a joy to watch. He always is a joy to watch. Looking at this match, so much athleticism. Of course, like you said, we kind of knew who was going to win, but QT Marshall, I don't know a whole lot of QT. I'm really liking his style. He's a big dude, but his handsprings, the agility, the dives, like Dustin, even like the fact that we had this conversation. I was talking to somebody earlier and I was saying the fact that Dustin Rhodes has become so much bigger and better, faster, more agile than when he ever has been. It's just a testament to this guy's hard work and ethic, man. Hitting destroyers on Omega. Ali came out. I think that was kind of like the one thing that this is causing kind of like a thing now. I want to know more about this. Show us, catch us up. Not everybody's taking in this whole intake of watching Dynamite and Dark and the Brandy show and being the elite. And it's a lot to take in, right? I'd like to see it packaged a little bit more inclusively, even in a recap, to say, oh, by the way, Ali is not with the Butcher and Blade anymore, and here's why. Because if you missed Dark, this is what happened, right?
We did talk about this directly yesterday. We were talking about the need to do more to recap Dark on Dynamite, because like you say, not everyone watches it. But it was literally funny how we were talking about that quite literally yesterday. But they did mention stuff on commentary, and then they started putting the results up, didn't they? They did that later on in the show, but it was like, fine, we were only talking about it just yesterday. But you're right, they need to fill in the blanks because not everyone watches Dark. You can't assume everyone watches Dark.
Yeah, no, that was exactly it, And of course, like we said, the tag team champions, they retained in this match here. QT took the last call. My God, there were so many good spots in this match, though. But I think, honestly, that as a tag team finisher, that last call is just bang. That buckshot V-trigger. So well done. Just so well done. And then that brought us into, so this is what happened last night is I was at home and Dynamite's usually on. I rarely watch it live, right? So I actually watch the replay afterwards. I got a message from Blue and he asked me, he's like, it's like 6:20, 6:30. And he says, are you watching Dynamite? I said, no. He says, well, you should. And I'm like, okay. So I pull out the phone, put on the TSN app here. I'm in Canada. And I put it on. And all I see is Abaddon winning this match. This image of this ghastly, scary face. This haunting specter of a person that's on my TV screen, on my phone. And I can't keep my eyes off her. And I'm like, in my notes, I just said scary woman wins. What's going on here? What's happening here? Wow, man. This is something that, and it became a trend for the night, I guess, with Anna Jay signed to AEW in April. There were a lot of debuts tonight. There was a lot of debuts on Dark as well. On Dark, that's where I was getting all the debuts from. So they're really bringing in a lot of people at a very, very breakneck pace. So Abaddon, though, what was it? Britt Baker, Tony Schiavone says, I got a message from Britt Baker here. This broad needs to find Jesus ASAP. Holy smokes, man. The level of storytelling they're putting into all this show here with the Britt Baker, Tony stuff and Britt just still being there on the side and she's getting her messages out through the announcer because they're friends. I think that's hilarious.
Well, a little bit of string. She were pulling the string, wasn't she? Writing the notes and pulling the string to send it up to him. Yeah, I liked that as well.
Right? I mean, the whole thing. Yeah, no, totally. And I mean, like, it was a squash match. Abaddon obviously, proving something here. Super impressive, though. This is one of those things, one of those very memorable characters, kind of like, like Rosemary, like Sue Young, like that really sticks out in your head. You're like, whoa, like a Luna Vachon, kind of like a memorable character. So from the wrestling that I've seen so far, that looks really solid. I'm happy. How do you feel?
Well, I think that the way you watching it in that order probably helped you because because I watched it as it happened, like not live, obviously I can't watch it live in this country, but before the match there was an Anna Jay like little vignette where she'll put in over a character and what she's all about, and it's like, oh, so she's getting, and then she comes out, but then the other person doesn't. This person looks awesome. She's like something straight out of a horror film. I was like, what's this, The Grudge or something? And then all of a sudden look at her face and it was like awesome, but it was like, because we had that video package just before, it felt like that was sort of the push. So when the finish came, it didn't feel like the finish. It felt, because I thought there were going to be more of a match. Right. Because they'd pushed Anna Jay, not Abaddon. Abaddon sort of pushed herself by just going, look at me.
By appearing, right? Yeah.
Like a finish, but then I thought, so what point in video package? But it was like, then the Dark Order come out, and I'm like, that's why you were quickly, maybe lazily, and forcing it in all a little bit of backstory for someone who's about to lose in a match that were less shorter than the vignette itself. And then Dark Order come out, and then obviously they've got Cabana a contract, didn't it, which we found out later he's going to wrestle with Brody Lee. But it was to like sort of recruit this Anna Jay, and it's like, I don't know, this is a good look for Dark Order anymore. Like, you can't just keep acquiring losers effectively. Like, we've only seen her for like this vignette. We don't know who she is, and she lost in almost seconds. So I don't know. Dark Order, I think, like, they need to recruit someone, not like Colt Cabana isn't legit and stuff, but he's not a winner in AEW or pushed. Yeah. And this one's just not a nobody. She can obviously very talented, but to us, nobody. So yeah, I think Dark Order needs to maybe try to go after someone a bit more legit. Or at least when they do introduce Anna Jay, she's got to go on a tear. Because it's good to have, I want more women on the show. So, but she'll have to go on a tear. Like, needs to be a success story of the Dark Order off the back of this. But obviously they wanted to put, which means she's got a story, so she doesn't have to look strong. But this Abaddon looks like quite an interesting, unique character. So interested to see where that goes.
Very much so. What I want to see
is watch the more established female talent. The same way she just sets Anna Jay, because that won't make Anna Jay feel as bad then. If like next week she fought someone who's maybe wrestled a few matches and just like wiped them out, that'd be good.
Well, I'm hoping what they do now with the Dark Order thing here is they take these losers and, like you said, make them into winners. They have to become immediate winners by being part of the Dark Order. And then other people will say, hey, these like they're legit, right? They're actually turning these people around and they're becoming a force to be reckoned with here. Because yeah, if you just take these jobbers and continue to job them out, then what are you doing, right? All right. So then this was one we were looking forward to here. This is kind of, so they've been building this up since last week here. They had an interaction, MJF and Billy. Don't call him Billy Gunn. Don't call him Billy Gunn. I like how they're getting around that though, just like what they do with Cody, where it's like Cody and Brandy Rhodes. It's Billy and Austin Gunn with Colton Gunn, right? Like it's the Guns, the Gun Club.
Yeah.
The Gun Club. And Austin and Colton, let me tell you, man, these kids look impressive. I'm a fan of the Gun Club myself. I totally am. I was so torn, though, because I'm such a fan of MJF and Wardlow as well. So, but what I like, though, is you got Billy Gunn here wearing his original boots from 1999. He's still got his old boots on, the faded-ass white leather boots. And the match was great. I thought it was good for what it was. It told a good enough story. Billy Gunn is huge. That guy is fucking big. I don't remember him ever being that big, but he's still got it in my eyes here. Like as far as a trainer and even a wrestler, there's still stories he can be telling. So I definitely I see him and Wardlow telling some stories here going on, because Billy's one of those big guys he doesn't fight like a big guy, right? He has the big boot and stuff, but he's still agile enough that he gets around. So I like that. What'd you think about it, man?
Well, I'm not a fan of the Gun Club. His sons annoy me, especially the one who comes down to the ring with him and stands at ringside. Like it's just like, please get off my TV, please. It just annoys me. I don't know why. So I'm like, yes, MJF, my man, you come and sort this stuff out. But Billy Gunn, oh, sorry, you'll have to bleep that out. And I like him, of course. It's awesome. Like, see, he looks so big in AEW, and I liked how to get round that they had MJF working over his leg, didn't they, to got over there for his size. But yeah. I did really like the spot at the beginning where MJF's trying to work over his arm, and Billy's like, what you doing? And he's like, oh, just a bit of sportsmanship there, so I'm going to go now, that was good. MJF is gold. I popped hard for that. I laughed, he's so good, MJF, so good. And like I say, the match itself, he worked over the leg, and obviously you've always got Wardlow there, haven't you? Which is a great equaliser, even though like Billy Gunn's massive. And I like the fact that they still use the ring. It's like it's a good tool for him to have and to show off, but to also cheat with. So I thought this, obviously you can't take out away from Billy anyway, you know what I mean? But it's like perfect way MJF step it up again. And obviously we were hoping that the Jurassic Express feud would continue, when it seems like that is the case, because they were like a post-match brawl, weren't they? And then later on, they announced, because we were on about this weeks ago when they first squared off, they announced Wardlow versus Luchasaurus, didn't they?
Yeah.
And I was like, yes, I want that. So, yes. So, well, looking forward to that. But yeah, so just great MJF work, as always.
Yeah, totally, man. Like I said, the guy, it just keeps me going, because like I said, this was one of the first weeks that I actually went back and I watched AEW Dark. I actually watched Dark this week, or most of it, some of it. I actually watched some of it. It's a lot to take in. It's a 2-hour show that's packed of wrestling matches that are mostly just enhancement matches, right? So it's a lot to take in. So it's definitely been a lot of AEW, but watching, you can't argue with it at the same time. How can I say, oh, it's too much quality wrestling? Dude, that's 4 hours of wrestling a week they're putting out now with Dark and Dynamite. I'm sorry to sound like this, but like, it's really enjoyable. I can't find anything against it here, And when you got solid matches like MJF here, taking on Billy, and Billy is somebody who's like a relic here, really, in all purposes. He's a WWE, guy who came in as an agent initially, and now he's doing matches again. It's like, holy shit, man, this guy can still go. I'm really happy with it. Awesome. And so we go backstage. We see the Sex Gods, Sammy and Jericho, man. Let me tell you, I'm not even going to talk about it, because we know what I'm going to say. So you go ahead. Anything you want to say about the Sex Gods at this point here, going into their tag team contendership match?
Well, I did notice that Chris were pushing the brothers, the blood, which I think we've been talking about a possible Sammy face turn, no matter however it'll come. So I think this were like fuel for that, to push. No, we're closer than ever. Yeah. To try and get you away from that. So when it does happen, it's like, I think they're going to weave in and out of like them being so close, but to then Sammy being on the outside, and that's where Matt Hardy will come into that thing. But yeah, you had your lines where your blood is thicker than orange juice or whatever it was.
Yeah, there's so many puns they use.
What can you say?
So many puns they used about Orange Cassidy, right? Beaten to a pulp and Blood Orange Cassidy and all the good stuff. And we go from there. We talk to Britt Baker. She's interviewing with Tony Schiavone. They're talking about, we get the announcement of Sheeta versus Ford, the title match at Fyter Fest. And I love that they keep playing on this with the friendship, like she's on a friendship timeout now with Tony, right? This is it now. It's a timeout friendship here. And then, of course, we see Big Swole. Big Swole is somebody, as soon as I saw Big Swole for the first time on Dark or wherever it was, I thought to myself, she is going to be so huge. There's so much charisma here. She's got so much attitude that's just like, bring it on, right? So, of course, she takes Britt away with the Rolls Royce. Where'd they go? Right? Again, just keeping, like you said, though, they're running a risk here of overexposing Britt Baker when she really can't do anything for the long term. Unless she really gets behind somebody here, it's going to get, it hasn't got old yet. And we're in like week 5, right? So who knows? Who knows?
Well, it got a little old for me last week, but I think in this episode, Britt was on fire. She was awesome, so engaging. So, it brought it back round for me. But like you say, the danger is she's in a feud with Big Swole, who can't wrestle her for a long time. So what's Big Swole going to do in the meantime? She can't keep putting her in bins or popping her tires or whatever. Well, maybe she will. Maybe that's what they'll do, She can pop her wheelchair tires or whatever, or blah, 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 going forward. But, yeah, it still seems like it's quite a long way away before they can actually have a match. So maybe take Big Swole into a direct... Well, I suppose, like we were talking about before, Britt Baker's assistant could have matches to fill that gap. But it's still, like I say, she's still out for a long time. But, yeah, Britt were on fire. Like I say, we'll get into it more later on because it came back. We did find out where she was. So we'll talk about that when we get there.
Yeah, but again, with Big Swole, now this is a great opportunity because you have somebody like Britt who's great on the mic and she's injured, so she's on the shelf for a while, right? This is a perfect opportunity to pair her with somebody who might not be ready wrestling-wise, developmentally. You know what I mean? They're still training a lot. There's still things they want to iron out, but they want to get exposure, right? Because that's the one thing this is getting Big Swole is a lot of exposure. I don't know, like a Big Swole can wrestle though. That's the thing that's why this kind of is the exception is Big Swole is a great wrestler, but this would be a great spot for somebody who needed some more time. You know what I mean? So we'll see. We will see. Okay. Bang, bang, bang. So then we came out Cody on the microphone. Cody. I'm Cody. And hey, I got a chip on my shoulder, but I'm the TNT champion. And he comes out with this open challenge. I was so happy with this because I was like, who could it be, right? Like, who could it possibly be? And it turns out to be the most hottest free agent on the market right now from NWA, Ricky Starks. I love this guy. I've seen him in NWA like this year because I only started watching NWA Power just recently. Maybe it was last year. But I've only recently come into this whole Ricky Starks situation. The kid reminds me so much of like a young, smaller, like Rocky Maivia type, like this little loudmouth, like a John Leguizamo almost, like the Pest or like the Luigi from Mario Brothers. There's just something about him. You want to see him get punched in the face, but he's so athletic that he just keeps going. So when he came out to fight Cody, I thought that was the raddest thing. It was super entertaining. I think Starks is a legit challenge. Even the fact that they're saying, yeah, we're bringing in people from outside of, AEW, and this is a big thing. Like, he's a free agent. Of course, he wasn't. He signed. We found that later on. But I thought that was awesome. Cody, again, with the crossroads with the pin. Here's my question to you, okay, is how long is this streak going to go on now? How long do we have to see Cody win every single week and go undefeated now for this title before he loses it?
Well, like I say, in the last few weeks, I've talked about how I'm okay with that because I feel like there was subtle storytelling in like an obsession addiction with the title. And obviously the dynamic changed in this because it's someone we don't know, because I don't know Ricky Stark, so it was new to me. So maybe it's because the Dynamite audience don't know him, that dynamic couldn't come into play. But to be fair, I felt like you might be rubbing off on me because when he were on the mic at the beginning, he just annoyed me. Cody, he was smug, like a smuggler's, am I alone? I mean, he just felt a bit smug and annoying. And I'm like, is he turning heel? Or does he not realise he's turning heel? Because his ego's getting a bit too big that he thinks what? Because it's like the way we're wrestling, he were like smug with attitude, almost like, oh, I'm Cody, and you don't know this guy, so of course you want me to win, fans. You know, and I'm like, is that character, or is it just like, yeah, has he got a whack? But like I say, maybe it's just because we didn't know Ricky Starks that he couldn't tell the story. But like I say, I don't know if I've fantasy booked that story. I've just seen too much into it, and whether it was beautiful, subtle storytelling, or whether I just like put them in such high regard now that I just assume that they're always working me in every little bit because they're that clever. So I suppose we'll see. I don't know how long I want it to go on. Like I say, if it was a story that I thought it was, I'd be happy for it to go on for a long time till it broke him or saved him. But with this, if it's just going to be stuff like this, where it's just cocky Cody being smug and then like, shake your hand, I don't know. But also at the beginning, when Arn came on the mic and were like saying, oh, I've done my coaching, I've got your thing, it still did come a bit across of like, but I've found you a guy you can beat. Just like go stretch your legs. And it's like, well, no, it's a high level title. So treat it with respect. And Cody should want to prove himself the best and fight the best, which obviously that I'm not sure about coming from Arn's perspective. Obviously, when Ricky Starks come out, I want to show him first, but he's clearly very talented. And it was a nice aggressive match, wasn't it? There were good intensity from both. They're both getting good lifting. So yeah, so I don't know if you just rubbed off on me, but yeah, Cody annoyed me a bit during this whole thing.
See, now I don't know if you and Lisa have rubbed off on me because I came into this thing trying to be as objective as I could. And the Cody promo in the beginning, sure, right? Came off of sour grapes. It always does. But then I came off it, and after the match, I'm thinking like, you know, as much as I want to hate on Cody for like, you know, where they've put him or where he's put himself storyline wise, he is in consistent matches every week. You know, he does it great every week. But my issue though is that it's going to become overexposed because now we see Cody wrestling every single week, and he's got the title on the line, and that's why I want to see him lose it. I want to see him lose it to Hager at Fyter Fest because I think that it'd be good for the title. It'd be good for the title to move it around a bit, get it back and get another championship into the inner circle. First of all, that'd be huge, and then and really just get Cody away from it for a bit because I think Cody doesn't need a championship. Cody never needed a championship. You know, Cody is enough of a storyteller on his own, and not to be like his dad or whatever, but like really, he doesn't need a title. So.
Well, let's say they're not going to do the story that I thought they were doing or wanted him to do. Then, yeah, I'm happy for Hager to get it because I think that'd be good for Hager because Hager has been pushed dominant. So it'd be good to, you know, make that legit by not just being beaten by Cody. So, right. But anyone who's got no context to what we were just on about back and forth, I urge you to go watch the last 2 weeks reviews that we've done and just watch the however long it is talking about the Cody matches to get a bit of context of our flip reverse there of like, you know.
Yeah.
Whether it is rubbing off or just like things, because it's been interesting, hasn't it? Cody's been a big talking point in each one we've done so far for lots of different reasons, but good and bad.
Oh, very much so, man. Like you said, like it's Cody, love him or hate him, he's definitely driving the conversations here on Triple D on the Dynamite with Dezzie and Dean here. So then, of course, we go right back into the wrestling. We got Super Bad Squad, Havoc and Sabian versus the Young Bucks, Nick and Matt Jackson. I mean, holy smokes, man. Talk about an emphasis on tag team division wrestling here. There's like AEW should almost just have tag team in the name, you know, all elite tag team wrestling because it's great, man. And I'm not trying to knock it at all. I love it a lot. I think it's great. What's up, Pete Hurley? Pete's in here. What's up?
Yeah.
John says he likes Cody. All right.
Yes. So do I. Don't get it twisted. So do I. Go watch your ones.
Yeah, exactly. So now we have, like I said, okay, so what I love, though, is that the referee found a pair of pliers before the match. I thought that was hilarious. I thought that was awesome. The fact that he found a pair of pliers, that just shows you why they check, right? That shows you why they check. And then again, they got the butcher and the blade on the outside of the ring. It's nice to see the wrestlers interacting like that. That's something we don't get with WWE is you see these developmental wrestlers on the outside, but it's like, no, we want to see the guys that they could be feuding with because it does push stories along, you know, when you get in somebody's face on ringside there. You know, again, awesome action. Butcher and blade on the apron there, leaving the opening for Havoc to use his weapon. FTR comes down to even the odds. There's so much tag team like action going on here. The storytelling between FTR, the Bucks, and even the Butcher and Blade being put in the middle of that. I love the dynamic. So it's not just like Dean, I'm coming for you. And then we have our match. It's Dean, I'm here, Dean. Oh, shit, there's Blue. Okay, I'm fighting Blue now, too, because Blue wants to scrap. And there's a whole dynamic going on, you know? Again, Nick Jackson, amazing jumps here. Super bad squad, man. Amazing assisted DDT. Sabian bleeding. The Bucks win and get pound up, man. I mean, like, it was tag team bedlam again. You know, like, these guys are just the story. I don't know where it's going to end with these guys in this tag team division. What kind of, like, are they going to do the blood and guts with FTR and everybody? Like, how are they going to contain it is what I'm saying. Because it just looks like it's getting crazier and crazier by the week. What do you think of the tag team match?
Well, I think, like, because of all the outside stuff of Butcher and Blaine and FTR, I did feel like Superbad Squad were a bit of a backdrop, you know. It wasn't about them, it was about the other three sort of things. So I felt bad for him in that sense. But I was laughing when you were talking then, because, yeah, when the ref found the pliers, and he's like, you can't have these, so I'm just going to place them on the floor in your corner. Like, you know what? So I'm like, are they going to play into it then? Because, like, why would you do that? You might as well have left him in his pocket. So that made me laugh. But yeah, but the match, I don't know, it was a fun match. Never felt like fully serious, like I say, because you were more thinking about all the things going on around it. And I don't know the end. It's like more a three-way thing. And Superbad Squad was saying, but like I say, I felt bad for them because we felt like they've sort of been pushing them to establish them as at least competitive. So it we're going to see Young Bucks in ring, and like you say, some great spots. And I'm interested to see where this FTR and Young Bucks and whether all the other tag teams are involved. You know where it goes. And like you say, like I met a friend of mine over days. I don't know if he. We're on about tag teams, saying like might be too much tag team wrestling on because there's been a lot of tag matches, haven't there, lately? But it's like when you've got the tag team wrestling, to me, is just wrestling. It's no different. No matter if it's a singles or a tag match. Good wrestling is good wrestling, and they have the best tag division in the world. So yeah, show it off as much as you want.
Exactly. So Pete saying pliers was a nice touch, and then he added that they should find stupid stuff on him every week. And that's so true, man. That'd be hilarious, man. That'd be hilarious. So then, of course, we go backstage. We see Taz and Cage. And I'm really liking this pairing. I have said not good things about Taz's commentary work in the past. But like I said, I like Taz's character. I like his intensity. And the way they're using him with Cage, it's perfect. You know, does Brian Cage need a talking person, though? Does he need a Taz or a Paul Heyman? Does he need a manager? I don't think so, but I think it's just good placement for Taz at this point. Of course, what are you thinking?
I think it sort of does, because when he talks, I don't know, it just doesn't resonate with me too well. Like when he interrupted Taz today, felt a bit stumbly across his words, and it were like, what do he say? What do I want to do? I don't know if I want to punch him on the head, drop him on his head, or win the title. It's like, well, do them all, mate. You know what I mean? Go hand in hand a bit, you know what I mean? Drop him on his head and win his title. But then afterwards we had the Moxley one, and all my notes say about Moxley's one was better than Cage's. But it's like, I liked the lines about that I've got demons and the only way to like put them at bay is to hurt people. That were a good line. Yeah. So yeah, so I think Cage does need Taz, and let Taz do more of the talking.
I'm really not a fan of that Moxley line where it's like, beat me if you can, survive if I let you, or whatever that thing is, like he says at the end.
Oh, that's what Taz says about Cage, you mean?
Yeah. That whole thing. Yeah, that whole beat him if you can, survive if he lets you thing. Not a fan of that whole thing. You know what I mean? Not a fan of that whole thing.
But I do like him having a mouthpiece.
Yeah. No, it's yeah, exactly. And so we got into next week. We're looking at Colt and Brody versus Sonny and Joey. And again, so I watched Dark, and they talked a bit about that there. And they're just the party boys from Jersey, right? Sonny and Joey. So they're just this new tag team that just has a good time. So that's cool. I mean, that's fun. They work great together. It was a fun match on Dark. So I can't wait to see them take on Colt and Brody to really see if Colt takes to this whole Dark Order thing or not, right? That's going to be the big one. And then we got Wardlow and Luchasaurus. Wardlow versus Luchasaurus is something we've been looking forward to on the show for a long time.
Yes. Yeah, yes. I say I barely paid attention to all the other matches because I would just wrote "fuck yes" on my nose when on about Wardlow and Luchasaurus.
Hell yeah!
So I'm glad you were paying attention to what matches are coming.
Yeah, and then of course we go and we break and we see Britt Baker is in the dumpster. Britt Baker's in the dumpster, and poor Britt, poor Britt. Yeah.
I thought she was fantastic here, man. She was so funny and on point. And she has got her character down now, where she can just literally, she just can say stuff as that character. And I thought she was fantastic in this. It was brilliant. I loved every second. And like when she scared her, when she threw her phone up in air and stuff, I really enjoyed this. Britt's on fire. But like I say, it needs to be sparingly.
Yeah, absolutely. We got Pete was saying, Cage needs a mouthpiece. He was a little uncertain in his promo. I would have certainly reshot it. No, absolutely.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, that's what I felt like. He tripped over his words. It's like if they're outside filming it anyway, just got to do that again. Yeah. Maybe they're scared of him. I don't know.
It's like, oh, great, Cage. That was awesome. You killed it again, Wolverine. You did it. You did it. So we had Matt Hardy came out for his spot on commentary for the for the co-main event, the big one, the Sex Gods versus the Best Friends. And of course, we know this is all stemming from this story that they're telling here. This OC as the baddest man of the planet versus Le Champion Chris Jericho, the whole inner circle versus Best Friends. Again, I love Sammy G. I'm watching it on the TSN app on my phone, and they don't do the picture-in-picture stuff on there, so I end up getting cut off. So Sammy G starts singing Judas, and he gets cut off by the commercial. And I'm like, damn it. But like the moves here, like the assisted superplex here, so many saves, like what a great match. And then of course, what are we looking here? The Floyd hit and then the shooting star. I thought that was the end. There were so many close spots. And then like that was Sammy gets caught up by the cameraman and gets pinned by Trent. And I'm like, come on, like this is brutal. Like the Sex Gods got ripped off bad here, right? Like you can't tell me the Best Friends are going to be the number one contenders for the tag team titles now. And it's like, okay, what's going on here? Of course, before we get into the whole afterwards of the match, what did you think of the match itself?
Well, I liked how, because a lot of matches on the card were very predictable, I think, on this show. I want who your winners were going to be. So obviously, the Best Friends were established number one contenders, but they were putting over, again on commentary, and they've mentioned it, that the Sex Gods, Jericho and Sammy Guevara, have got a win over the... So it felt like, they're saying that these are two legit, these are both worthy of fighting the champions. So it made it like it could go anyway. So I liked that. It's nice when you can't predict too easy. You want to, get invested in near falls and such. And like I say, I'm always excited to watch Jericho wrestle, and Sammy G's awesome. And I had the same, my feed cut out just as he started singing. And I was like, oh. But yeah, they had Matt Hardy was putting over Sammy really strong on commentary, wasn't he? Yep. Putting him over. So like, obviously more... Hopefully that's a story that can keep going. But did you notice a trip straight away? As soon as that trip happened from the cameraman, like obviously I hadn't clocked it but you instantly went, oh, that's Orange Cassidy, didn't you?
Yeah, you had to, right? There was a gimmick,
yeah. Like, why would you wouldn't notice it, face mask and blah, 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 you think, and then you're like, but you're glad. I will say one bit that made me laugh during this, just before the finish, when Jericho threw Chucky T over at barrier, and it landed on Pineapple Pete, and it cut back to the ring, but you just heard Jericho at the top of his voice, I hate you, Pineapple Pete. And that made me laugh so much.
It's just little things like that.
I always forget how good Chuck is. I sort of always forget how good Chuck is. Like, he's so athletic. He don't look like he should be. Just looks like a proper average bloke, doesn't he? Dad or whatever. But he's so good. They were all great in this match. And like, Best Friends, sometimes I can take or leave them, but with us, Orange Cassidy is one of my favourite things, and that really has brought that unit, more to the upper levels, hasn't it, by having that as a faction, a team, and it's like, and obviously they've been winning a lot, so yeah, really good segment, and then Orange Cassidy versus Chris Jericho. Yes, please.
Especially after that attack, that blast attack from OC to Jericho last night. Oh my gosh, man, just blasting him with shots. The show ends with the Best Friends hugging. I like how they got OC in the middle there, and you can just tell they were just waiting for them to get in position. So the last shot is just him standing there, and then the Best Friends come in for the hug all around him, right? It was such a good ending shot there. Then the really wide zoom. Again, Honestly, man, I don't want to keep saying this all the time, but Dynamite is consistently awesome. I don't ever think we could do Dezzie and Dean review Raw, Dezzie and Dean review SmackDown, Dezzie and Dean review NXT, maybe NXT, maybe, but even
NXT, I could do NXT, yeah.
But I couldn't, like, I don't know.
No,
honestly, and this is what I love about it is you bring in so much wrestling. You look at the card was stacked. I watched Dark this week. I thought that was great. Which is kind of weird how they stagger it because like they shoot Dark after they shoot Dynamite, right? So then they aired on the Tuesday, the day before they air the next episode of Dynamite. So it's kind of like a pre-show to Dynamite, but they shot it the week before. It's kind of weird the pacing of it because you're like, okay, cool.
Well, I wonder if because they've started showing results of Dark and stuff, maybe Dark could benefit from also getting a TV deal to make it a bit more, if it's going to be a 2-hour show. Now, I think when I first watched it were only an hour, and I haven't watched it this year because I don't know, but I felt recently more of a need to want to watch it now, especially like you've been talking about, and like it mentioning it, and like there's a more of a crossover. I feel like I'm getting to the point, especially since doing this show. It's still in its infancy, this, but it feels like I need more. I want more context. Because obviously we're just guessing. We've just been guessing in past, haven't we? What's up? But it's like, so I think I'm going to start tuning in. But it'd be nice, if it were the disconnected, like you say, it's this week, but it's right before, filmed after and put before.
Yeah, but then that's the one thing that I've heard about the criticism of AEW is it's so much to take in. Because if you want to keep up with it, you watch Dynamite, then you watch Dark, and then you watch the podcast, the unreleased podcast, because they put stuff out there. And then you watch Being the Elite, and then you've got the Sammy Guevara pod, like his video pod. So there's a whole lot out there that you're like, okay, whoa. And then there's the Shot of Brandy show there. So there's a whole lot of moving parts to all of it. But I think if we watch Dark and Dynamite, we'll get most of it.
Yeah, you imagine that's where they're putting the bulk of it on. Where they've got any sense, like you say, because some other stuff is very niche in it. Whereas the two main shows should be where we get the bulk, 90% of you should never get anything from anywhere else. It's like the substance should come from the Dynamite and then the offset of that from Dark, yeah.
And this is the problem.
It's been tuning in, I think, next week,
Yeah, and that's kind of what we talked about with this whole Alley situation and the Butcher and the Blade. It was the Butcher, the Blade, and the Bunny for weeks, months, right? Like that was the push. And then all of a sudden, it's just the Butcher and the Blade, and there's Allie again as the Bunny, and it's like, okay, what? No, wait, what? Like, where? When? So, like, give us more than that, especially if you're going to invest so much into it. But, anyways, that's like the only criticism I have because I love it. Well,
like I say, I thought like this were maybe one of the weaker shows in the last few weeks, but that isn't as bad as it sounds. What I mean is the level's so high now that it's like an average show is awesome. And like you say, this year it's so consistent. So it's been brilliant. And like you say, it's like a revelation. It's like I'm excited to watch wrestling, and that's good, man. You know what I mean? That's good.
I think I'm more excited to talk to you. I think I'm more excited to talk to you every week than I am even about the wrestling. I mean, the wrestling could be crap, but as long as I get to talk to my homie Dean, man, that's what it's about.
I'll say it's awesome, man. Imagine like you're from one end of the world, I'm from other, and we met on a boat in another part of the world, another part of a few thousand miles away. And that's it. Friends for life. And so's Pete. And we get to talk about wrestling.
Yeah.
Awesome. Nice one. Nice one, Jericho.
Hey, what's up? Blue's in the audience here.
Hello, Blue.
Yeah, Blue and Pete here in the crowd. That's awesome. Thanks, boys, for tuning in. So thank you all for tuning in. Thank you, everybody, for watching here. Both savages, though. So savage. But no, thank you guys for watching. However you're watching, if you're watching us on YouTube later, if you tuned in live, or if you're watching us on Facebook, wherever you're watching us from. And very soon, because we realize that this isn't a very visual medium, we will have our podcast channel launched, so you can listen to us from the convenience of work, home, your car, or just whenever you want to go out for a run. Bradford is the Inuvik
of England.
Nice. Love you guys. Love you, Pete. See you next time. All right. From me, myself here in Inuvik, Dean, Have a great one, man.
You too, brother. Stay well, everyone. Peace.